Are you looking for love? If you're on the dating scene, there are definitely some things you can do to improve your chances of making a meaningful connection.
Kelley Ann Yates is the director of Lady Etiquette, and she's joining us now with some dating advice. Very timely. Welcome to First Coast Living.
Thank you for having me here.
We're so excited to have you here. First, tell us about Lady Etiquette and what inspired you to start your business.
Well, I was inspired mainly by my previous career. I had a very unique and special job. I was working on private jets in aviation, taking care of the world's wealthiest people.
Wow.
Such as President Obama, Warren Buffett, the Bezos family, and it was just incredible. And they inspired me to found Lady Etiquette, because one common thing they all had was they were poised, they had good etiquette skills, they had that confidence.
And they noticed that others didn't have that. Basically, it was lacking everywhere else, and we knew that we needed it, I guess, right?
Right. So in the modern dating scene, I'm interested in this. So is chivalry, is that still alive? Chivalry?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if a woman is a homemaker or a CEO of a company, a lady still likes to be treated like a lady and pampered with noble gestures.
And I agree. I'm the guy that makes sure I get the door for my lady.
Yes.
Make sure she has an umbrella. And you know, the handkerchief used to be just something for the lady. I mean, the guys that have the handkerchiefs, it's if they ever needed that, if they,
Yes,
so.
it just shows that thought and consideration. Opening the door, helping the lady with her jacket,
Yes.
maybe the chair if there's no host.
So I'm on the right track. But again, I haven't dated in 27 years, but you're saying I don't have to stop dating, right? Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yes, dating is ongoing. If you get married, it doesn't stop. For example, I've been dating my husband for 20 years.
Interesting. Okay, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, and you have to keep it alive and exciting and special.
Okay.
Never take each other for granted.
That is definitely,
sure.
yeah, I definitely need to. I think it's hard too when you've been together for so long with
Right.
someone, because 25 years, 17 years, 20 years. And
Yes.
so that's inspiring to know that, yeah, I mean, obviously we're doing something right? But we could learn a
Yes.
little bit more. But let's talk about dating in general. First, let's talk about what we should not be doing. What can you tell us?
Well, on a date, you don't want to talk too much about yourself.
Okay.
People do tend to talk a lot when they're nervous.
Yeah.
You don't want to be too intimate or personal on a date. And you don't want to show too much skin if you're a lady. If, for example, you want to show some cleavage, cover up your bottom part. And vice versa, if you're wearing a mini dress, cover up your top part. Leave something to the imagination,
Right.
and keep an air of mystery to keep it classy.
And balanced too, right? I mean, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yes,
Like that.
absolutely.
So let's talk about, again, what we should be doing then on the date in terms of, you know, should the date pick you up from your home? Who should pay? What can you tell us in terms of
Yes.
those kinds of things?
Well, yes, if you know the date, by all means let him or her pick you up at your home. But if you don't know the date very well, especially if you met that person online.
A lot of people meet online. When you ask them,
Yes.
where'd you meet? Well, we met
Scary.
online.
You don't want that to pick them up. You don't want that person to pick you up at your home.
Right.
Because for safety reasons, meet always in a public setting. You know, until you make sure that they're not a stalker.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
it's a little
sure.
scary. What
Yes,
about
and also, by the way, if they do pick you up at your home, don't feel obliged to let them inside, because you know you're all dressed up to go out for a lovely dinner, not sit around the kitchen table chit-chatting.
okay, good point.
And so you finally, you know, you get out on the date and things kind of are awkward. Sometimes, if, you know, they can get awkward or they're not going so well. How can you flip that around, or is there hope at the beginning? How can you help folks with that if it's not going well?
Well, if
what
it's
should
not
they
going
do?
well, and for example they try to kiss you and you don't want
Yes.
to be kissed,
Right.
I have an excellent Lady Etiquette 4-step strategy. May
Okay.
I just show you?
Yes, please.
So you put your left foot back like this,
Okay.
so you have a safe distance here. Make eye contact and you smile and you offer your right hand to shake hands. So that way you keep it cordial, amicable, and you're showing warmth.
So is
But you're
that what
politely letting them know you don't want to be kissed.
okay, so you would try to do that before they go to reach in or as
Yes.
they're reaching in for
Yeah,
the kiss?
yes, definitely. You
Try
put
to do
your
it
step back
beforehand.
before they kiss you. Or if you don't
Okay.
mind a kiss on the cheek, you could offer your cheek.
Right, I know, because that can be so awkward sometimes, or kind of
Yeah.
like that little pat hug, like, thanks, it was nice to see you.
Yes.
And then you also have a self-published book here. Tell us about that.
Yes, this is The Art of a Feminine Lady. I'm very proud of this book. This is for women who wish to carry themselves with grace and poise. It teaches women how to be more gracious and confident in any social setting. And I'm very proud of it. It's available on Amazon, and it's just been accepted at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh,
very
that's real
nice.
exciting.
And
I
it's
hear
the
you.
only book available in their luxury gift shops
Oh,
here.
wonderful.
So
Well,
very proud of
congratulations
that.
on that.
Very nice. And you also teach some classes, etiquette classes.
Yes, yes, we teach. Lady Etiquette is a consulting company that teaches hospitality training,
Oh, okay.
customer service training, image consulting, etiquette and deportment training. And we also teach cross-cultural training for companies, individuals that are getting ready to go overseas and do business in a foreign country. So they can better understand the culture and traditions of the country.
Right.
So they are ultimately set up for success for their business trip.
Sounds like you thought of it all. Well, if somebody
Yes.
is interested in your book or your services, how can they get in touch with you?
They visit ladyetiquette.com, or I'm available on Instagram at the Lady Etiquette, and also I've just set up a Facebook account which is called Lady Etiquette Academy.
Wonderful.
And I
It
have
is.
one follower on there, my mother, so we might need some help
Okay.
on Facebook.
Okay,
Well, you got
We'll give you a
another
call.
follower here.
It was such a pleasure meeting. Oh, and
Oh, I
May I
love
mention the hat?
Please.
briefly, yes. Quickly.
Because a lot of ladies ask me about hats, and there is an etiquette rule.
Okay.
You must remove your hat inside the restaurant at sundown.
Oh, specifically. so.
Yes, and gentlemen, there is an etiquette rule. Gentlemen must remove their hat before entering the restaurant. So you must
Very
remember that on a
military.
date. But this, by the way, is this rule was set up for brimmed hats, sun hats.
Okay.
But this is a perfect cocktail hat that you can keep on past sundown.
There you go.
See, so there's these little nuances and things we need to know.
Oh, yes.
So we'll have to get in touch with you and learn some more things. So thank you again for joining us
My,
today.
my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
It was wonderful. And you can also check this out for more on etiquette and a lot more on that, right? firstcoastliving.net.